Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, I just finished Volume 2, and, well, some problems are starting to appear a little bit bigger than before. But let's start with the good things. First, has, to this point, the problem with the PS4 controller where the D-pad kind of shit itself and don't work was fixed, and that's good. The second problem is we don't have the keyboard prompts yet, so we still die. But playing with the keyboard still kind of a nightmare and something that I don't recommend it. But why I say I start to see a little bit more of the problems here. Well, the good things are still the same. You can still see the graphics are better. The gameplay is better. They are a little bit more refined. Since, to be honest, the gameplay is not something hard. It's a very hack and slash centric game. But I now see then the fast level up than we have on the game does create problems. In my opinion, what is really happening is, since Volume 4 is made to you play on the max level, they're really pushing you to finish the first 3 volumes faster than hell, and upping your level makes that a lot easier. So you're gonna kinda breeze through the first 3 games or volumes, the way you prefer to say. But in my opinion, that creates a very strange problem. The first thing is, it's not a problem of the game, maybe it's my memory. But I did remember, and I probably remembering wrong on this point, but whatever. If you didn't complete the Book of 1,000 in Volume 1, you could complete on Volume 2 and get wallpaper and music for your desktop. The only things you could not get was the moves, but that would be changed to get GP, the money of the game. But now that is something that you can't do, and this is when one of the main problem in my opinion appear. Since you already almost troll, like really railroad to be on the max level when you finish the game, completing the Book of 1,000 and other side quests become a little bit more of a chore per se, because really you're going to have a larger gap of area to cover for, depending on how fast you end up leveling. You're going to have some gaps on the area. There was supposed the ones where you're going to need to find the weapons and the monsters. There is missing on your Book of 1,000. Plus, since the game speeds you up on the leveling up process, you end up not breaking X amount of objects, open X amount of loot chests and treasure blocks. So that was indeed the Book of 1,000 that I didn't complete on Volume 1. And that was something that generated that small problem. It's not something big because the wallpaper that I was able to get none of with no problem, and the music then I do always let on is there. So, and since this wasn't the playthrough, then I would go for 100% since it was just a playthrough to see the game and do things like that. I not have a big problem for it per se. But let's jump back, like after the end of Volume 1 to Volume 2. The problem here persists because during the entire game, besides like until I finished the main boss of the game, I did, besides the store ones, I did 3 dungeons. Not dungeons per se, 3 areas. I did only 3 areas, and that was enough to. I think it was 2, to be more honest. 2 to 3 areas was enough to level me up, and to a point of being over leveled, which is not something very good. And that highlight a problem here. Volume 2 is interesting on the plot perspective because it presents the character okay. Then during the arena, you supposed to bond with her, but since the fact that you do like 4 areas, one quest is one quest, one solo area, and 2 other areas with Adley, the bonding does not look any good. You don't have like the time. On the other version of the game, you did have to level up before the arena because you always, if you don't like over level yourself prior, you would have always a match level. And here is, besides the first time that I did do area because I need to place okay to my level, I didn't have this problem. I didn't have the feeling of knitting, and the problem was when I did place her to my level, I was so fucking over level for the arena. Then I breezed through without needing to do any areas, and I didn't need to do neither for the fucking gear because my level really just compensating my lack of a good gear and the lack of a good gear for my partners. On Volume 3, I do believe that that's gonna be a problem too, since, well, the lost weapon's gonna make up for the gear in some point, so yeah, it's gonna be a less of a shit show. It's gonna be a more of a shit show to say. So, as I was saying, the bonding between Haseo and Aoki doesn't quite go right, since you like have 4 areas to do that from the almost the double amount of areas in for that aspect. You could using greeting cards and the old game, and you get a response, and something in here kind of don't happen because, well, the amount of areas is lower. You don't end up having to do any gear swapping, any upgrade on her gear. So that is a point where the game kinda drops the ball. I do believe and I do believe we maybe please hope to see a mod who kind of lower. And that is an interesting thing to ask, but to lower the XP rate than your character gets? Strange, but yeah. So, something someone could say is, well, if you do feel that, just go and do some areas. The problem is, if you end up doing that, you're going to be over a fucking level for the rest of the game. And even if I didn't do that, when I arrived to the final boss, I was fucking over level as hell. I was not max level, I was 96 or 97, and I'm steamrolled the fucking fella. Was like a fucking sad. It was sad, to be honest. I really, really end up cleaning the floor with the guy. And that's kind of sad. It's not a. It was not a good fight. It was easy as fuck. I do believe that the last boss of the volume should be a little bit more like. How can I say? Should be like scale a little bit to work with your level. So this does not happen. So, in some ways, the plot stays the same. There's no big changing. There's nothing like that. Some things are being fixed with the port, and I don't have any problem with it. But the big problem is to the leveling up. Leveling up too fast is showing to be a little bit of a damaging to the game, and even to the fact of the end of the game too. After you finish the game, you already probably will be on max level, and that means then finishing the game, like 100% of the game, will be a lot more of a chore, because really, if you end up just doing the areas that the game gives to you, plus like one or two areas, you're not gonna be near close to finish any of the side quests. And out of that, you're going to have a lot of gaps on leveling on level areas. You're going to probably have gaps from between 4 and 6 levels, and that's enough to change the entire rotation of monsters and loot. So you're going to end up having to revisit area after area after area to see what you missed. Try to complete the Book of 1,000. It's not the time that I will do that. I already started volume 3. I'm going to see how the hell the fucking things work on there. Because I do remember the first time I finished volume 3, a long and long time ago in 2007. I finished the main story on level 123 to 125. I don't kind of remember. And I have a long time to finishing other side quests like Force of Pain and whatever side quests we have to do. Like, and that is a problem because I don't know how much easy the volume 3 will be, because volume 3 does feel a little bit shorter than all of the other two volumes, and that's an interesting thing. Volume 1, in my opinion, had feel like to being having less content. Volume 2 feel like was big, but I passed a lot less time on volume 2 than I did pass on volume 1. Don't know what happened there. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for volume 2. I'm going to do one of this for volume 3, one for volume 4, and one probably a review of the whole thing. Now, a quick kind of update. Why the fuck I was missing for like a period of time? The answer is I end up doing a fracture on my arm, like not my whole arm, my right arm. It was more like the lower parts of it, so I could not use mouse and keyboard. And I have to take a 3 weeks off of doing anything because my hand and arm was killing me. So I thought, well, when I play Volume, when the game came out, I decided if I was okay-ish, I decided to play, and for the most part was okay. Took in small breaks to let my hand to rest. The problem was on volume 2, the mashing on buttons kind of broke my hand again, and I need to take 1 to 2 days off. So, that was it. Thanks for being with me, and yeah, all that great stuff. This was the video, ladies and gentlemen, so thank you for watching, and as always there will be other channels and some links on the description for you to check it out. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, and if you want to see what comes next, please do a subscribe. As always, I thank you for watching and see you next video.